Welcome to KIllco. My name is Brian, and tonight, at long last, we are doing our first blind flight. I have been told what is in these. I have forgotten what is in these. And even if I knew what it was, I still don't know which is which. So it's as blind as I've ever been with drinking a bunch of stuff. As you see, we got A, which is on my right and your left. B, C, and D. I have them in front of me, all with different glassware, so I can at least try to keep track of what's what. Emphasis on try. It's a busy night, yes. Thank you, John McKelvin. I'm guessing that. Yes, blind flight. Blind flight night. Woo, woo. Let's be very excited about this. Not nervous. I haven't poured anything yet, but I should. All right. Hopefully I won't have problems with these. Ugh. I'm only pouring a little of each because I do not want to get, as has been said by many other YouTube peoples, Whiskey 2 peoples, schlammered, I think is the word that's been going around. That is not something I want to do right now. I need to try to focus to some extent. But I'm going to drink all of these, so that's going to be lovely. How is everyone's evening? It is so nice to see so many people here before we actually started. That was a surprise, but I am still getting used to trying to figure out the social media situation that is, social media. I can post on many different places and have no idea who sees what. Like I think I post on 3 mainly, just 3. Actually, yeah. What is it? Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, which is technically just Facebook again. All I know about them are what is on this little piece of paper that I was given. I haven't opened it yet. I don't know what's in there. I don't know if it's going to show up. Blind flight, Buffalo Trace, Mash Bill 1, answer key. Open after tasting. So I don't know other than what has been said to me, but again, I've forgotten. Someone has actually told me. Power Keeper is the one who sent this, I think. My memory is so bad, and I feel bad that I can't remember stuff like that. But yes, he sent these. Again, I don't know what they are, even though I've been told what they are. And I will find out at the end. And really, I'm just going to go by preference. I'm not going to try to guess anything crazy because I already know where it's from, technically. And one of these is uneven. Someone has problems. Oh, Jay, happy birthday. And a new job. Holy schmoly. Yes, you can get schlammered after that. That is loud. So one of those, I think you're supposed to. Those are the rules. If you drink whiskey, so you have to have a few if you've had a birthday and a new job all in one go. Actually, my father's birthday was yesterday. So some of these are going to be raised to him as well. He just turned 74, if you can believe it. One of the longest lived on the male side of my family because, we're probably not the healthiest, but in the past. But there's also a number of circumstances with a lot of stuff. I don't want to talk about that stuff. That stuff's sad. But here we go. From my right and your left, we have them all poured. They're all capped. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but let's just get into what these smell like first. I'll show the color as well, although they look pretty similar, to be honest. Even in the vials, they look extremely similar. All bourbons. Oh, there's trouble. Good evening, Power Keeper. I'm finally getting to this after I don't even know how long it's been. All right, here we go with A. There you go. Looks like a bourbon, doesn't it? Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Sweet. I got a cherry note there. That was cool. Lovely. Brown sugar. Smells wonderful. It smells like something I want to eat rather than drink. There's something else, but I can't place it. There is that kind of tinge of alcohol smell on this one. Only a little. And it's not like the kind that hurts. So that is A. It smells delicious already. It could be a higher proof. I don't know. I don't even know what the proofs are. I've forgotten everything. Oh my God. And you got the answer. Okay, good. I'm glad someone does. I don't know. I don't know anything right now. B. Oh. This one's lighter. I'm trying to show the color. There we go. Looks like bourbon. That's what I found out about bourbon colors. They often look the same. Although I have seen some that are more yellow. And as always, my preference tends to be kind of a dark amber. I'm not guessing anything. I'm just kind of trying to see which one I like best. I think they're all around the same proof, but I could be totally wrong because, again, I've forgotten completely what these are, even though I've been told. And again, I don't know what they are. I just know, I don't know which is which, I should say. But I do know they're all, as I said, Buffalo Trace Mash Bill 1. So if that's anything. If that means anything to all of you, to me, it's just stuff I'm forgetting. I may try to guess the proof once I taste it, but really, I have no idea. This is, of course, the first blind flight, so the concept of trying to get anything right feels weird. Like a blind flight feels like shooting at what you think is over there, that kind of thing. I don't want to say I'm good at it, and I don't think I will be. So it's just one of those, we'll see. This one smells kind of like the first one, but slightly different and softer, as weird as that sounds. It smells softer. It does smell nice. It's sweet just like the other one. I imagine all these are going to be sweet. I can't pick much out of it, which is strange. And that's probably me, to be clear. I like it, but if I were to guess what lower proof, I would say maybe that one because I don't really smell the alcohol on it. Number. We're going to C now. See what this smells like. Is there any way to clear out your nose besides blowing your nose? Because I'm like, ooh, this one smells very different out of the other ones. Although, how does it smell different is the question. It's sweet, but it also smells, I don't know if the word is sour or something else. Oh, yeah, the elbow. That's right. Do that. That doesn't do anything for my face. I smell like me. Good to know. If I were to guess, I'd say this is the Eagle Rare, but I don't know why. It's just because it smells different from what I'm used to. My friend's visiting me. How lovely. I like this one. It's sweet. It's reminding me of B, except it's not as soft, but the smell is almost fruity. There's something different about it. From A and B, anyway. Oh, yeah, E.H. Taylor small batches. Like most of these I haven't had. So Buffalo Trace, a store pick. Eagle Rare, which I've never had. E.H. Taylor small batch I've never had. And the rye one I've never had. This could be the rye for all I know, but it doesn't give me any of the liquor notes. Not liquor, the black licorice notes. And D. Smell my arm again. It is. I hear a lot of people have said that with Eagle Rare. But some people have said it's hard to find where they are. This one's probably the softest out of all of them. Trying to distinguish bourbons is crazy because to me they're all sweet, lovely, friendly, caramel or brown sugar, or sometimes a little bit of honey, but it seems like C and D are different from A and B for some reason, but I don't know exactly why. Now that I know one of them is rye, that's going to bother me, because it feels like it's either C or D. The other two don't smell like rye, but C and D smell distinctly different as far as bourbons go in my category, my rule book, my nosing experience. I don't know. The good thing is I like the smell of all of them. That's one of the. I've never. No, I can't say that. There's probably been a few whiskeys that I've had that were, let's just say, not great smelling. I can show you one right now, actually. So if you ever see this and you want to hurt yourself and just not enjoy it because of what it is, I haven't finished it yet. Where is it hiding? Here it is. So this is something that's awful. It's almost gone, but it's because it's mostly, 20% Kentucky straight whiskey, 36 months old, and then 80% grain neutral spirits. A gift from my brother. Oddly enough. Clink clank. It was not good. I've almost finished it, mostly because I use it in mixed drinks, and it is not a sipper, we'll say. Someone may really like that stuff. I don't know who. Someone. You know what I'm not doing? Since I'm trying to focus. I'm not clicking on the things. Where are the things? So let's do this first. Pop. This is to show everyone what is in these glasses. I don't know which is which. There's only one person who knows. And they're the ones who clearly have all this down. I don't know anything right now. I just know they smell good. What else? All right, so the highest proof is 100. I'll be surprised if I can pick that out. I know, and I normally drink 100, and anything that's under 100 usually tastes a bit watery or thin to me, for whatever reason. But again, this is a new experience for me. And again, we have A, B, C, D. I would show you these on my desk if I had a better setup, but I don't. I have me and my desk, and my desk is a mess. Got stuff everywhere. You don't even know. Got my tripod here for my tiny camera that I carry around all the time. I've seen eaglery around. I actually saw a big old bottle of it last night, and I was tempted, along with a few others. I saw Weller, and I also saw Blanton's for the first time on the shelf for $100. So I knew that guy was ripping people off. And granted, I've never had Weller or Blanton's, but I will have Blanton's someday over there. Someday. All right, let's get on to the sipping. We're going with A first. I really like the smell of A. I don't know why. This could be the rye for all I know, because I have a preference for ryes. Yeah. It feels kind of like a high proof. Which reminded me of wild turkey, honestly, but I also have that in my mind at the moment. A little peppery. Could be rye, but I'm not getting any serious black pepper notes or black licorice notes. I like it. I saw a rare breed yesterday in my area. Ridiculous. I haven't been able to find one at any liquor store I went to until I went to this little random place around the corner. The catch is it's $10 more expensive than I want it to be. I know I can get rare breed for $50, but this one was $60. Ah, okay, good to know. And that's probably why I don't smell any distinct black licorice notes, because I think everything I've tried recently that's been rye has been very high rye or something like that. Like this one, the Whistle Pig Old World, which I had last week, that is distinctly rye. But the first one's reminding me of Wild Turkey. But I must admit, I did go out before I started streaming and picked up something. Because some of you may know, most of you probably don't, that in Rhode Island, as of tomorrow, we're going on a 2-week pause. So it's kind of like a semi-mini lockdown. And I figure that'll last me 2 weeks. Along with this, and along with the fact that I have to try and do advent calendar stuff, except it's very different. The one thing I liked about advent calendars officially, when I bought them and tried them, was it's just open it, try it, whatever it is, it's new. But this is one where I have a bunch of minis that I want to review, but I don't know in which order I'm going to do it. On to B. I agree with that. Wild Turkey is life. Or Wild Turkey 101. I was a little disappointed when I went there to get. Now I'm getting a weird note out of this one. This is B, which I didn't have before. Maybe it's because I drank something different. Did I drink water? God damn it. There are rules and regulations to this, I think. Okay. Now this one's reminding me of C. That's annoying. Ooh. That's not what I expected. It's not bad. It's drying out my mouth at the end there. It's actually pretty good. But oaky at the end. And not as high proof as letter A. Number A. Blech. I do like that. What am I getting out of it, though? That's the hard part. Trying to get the words. I'm certainly enjoying these so far. Liquor stores are not closing. It's just one of those. I mean, the liquor store I went to was in Massachusetts anyway, so it doesn't matter. But there's a whole list of things that are being locked down. I forget what it is, but it's weird. It's not going to affect me technically, other than I'm not going to go out as much, and I don't go out much to begin with, so no big problem. I've had this fruit fly problem for a little while now, and they always come back when I start to drink stuff because they are attracted to alcohol, I think. All right, B definitely dried out my tongue more than A, and it feels like it's a lower proof. I don't know what it is, and it also tasted different, but in a way, I'm having a very hard time of how to explain it. And I don't want to think on it too much because it's the first sip. And a lot of times with me, the first sip doesn't do anything. It's just, alcohol, lovely. Bourbon, like. Right? You've seen those Victorian paintings where we're all like half naked and drinking and eating during pandemics. Those are lovely. Going on to C, because because B just confused me. I'm just going to start saying number B. This one still has the fruity note, which I dig. It's different. What it is, though, I don't know. It reminds me of apples. That's cool. Ooh. God, it's hard to explain what's happening here. A little oaky. A bit sweet. What kind of sweetness? Is it brown sugar sweetness? Is it something else? It's also not a high proof, as far as I can tell. A is the one that stuck out so far with the alcohol. But that just might be because it was the first one I sipped tonight. I don't know. You know what? That was a thing around here for quite a while. A number of years ago, they finally did away with that. And that was, I think, before I could even go to liquor stores, so it didn't matter. But yeah, that was a dumb one. And I like C too. Again, my whole thing here is to see which one I like most. Figuring out the specifics is not my best thing. Like, I would love to be able to spit off some of the stuff that people do, but I have memory issues and experience issues, I guess, as I've said in some of my videos. Suffering from depression means that everything is depressed, including my sense of smell and taste. So it makes it really hard to do these. I like this one. This is, we're on D. This one seems familiar to me for some reason, but I don't know why. It could just be because it's Buffalo Trace for all I know, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure of anything. I just know I have a lot of whiskey in front of me, and I feel kind of happy about that. I love when I'm trying to read stuff. It's like, I make that bigger. It's easy to read. This one tingled a little bit. It was kind of faint. The proof could be a little higher though, because that one I felt that going down. These B and C I didn't feel as harshly. Oh man. None of this is easy. Trying to get tasting notes out of stuff. Especially bourbons. I know with scotches, it seems distinctly different. With bourbons, I get a lot of the same thing, and you feel bad saying the same thing over and over again. Brown sugar and oak and honey sometimes. So they're all the same, but they're all different. That explains why they seem similar. I mean, we all know that it's the same mash, but it's astounding how different they are from starting off as the same thing. That's almost hard to believe, but they are very similar in color, which I think I forgot to show the C and D for the color anyway. So I'll do that now. This is C. Again, they all look very similar. So that's not helping me at all. But again, with bourbons, it's a lot of just kind of a different shade of amber. And that is D. I'd have to say A is still the one I like most at the outset here. All right, now I'm going to do I guess I should probably do rapid fire, where I just uncap them all and go back and forth. Terrified to uncap them all, though. I don't know if I'm going to uncap them all. Let's go between... Because it keeps starting with A, and A might be the higher proof. Let's go to B first. I like B. B is pleasant. It's not overwhelming. And for me, there's no huge burn on the way down, which is probably the only way I can tell proof, I think. But even then, I'm not sure. It is drying my mouth out, or my tongue, not really my mouth. And it's tingly, which is nice. As far as tasting notes, I feel like this is one of those days where I'm having a hard time with tasting. Certainly sweet, typical bourbon, brown sugarish. It's C and D that are throwing me for a loop, too. Those are the two that I taste it and go, I don't know. Going on to C. The other thing is I haven't really tasted any of these. These are all very different. Yeah, this one still gives me a fruit note. C is the fruity one. And I've heard that, what is it, E.H. Taylor or Eagle Rare can be fruity. Maybe it's Eagle that I'm thinking about. But I've never had Eagle Rare, so I wouldn't know. But as far as a difference in smell, this one definitely has the fruit note. To me. Oh man, what is that? I wish I knew more words. This is why I use that Whizzky app all the time. it's certainly more difficult to get a bead on what I'm tasting there. I like it. I'm trying to figure out a word for it is the hard part. I want to say tannins, but that's not it. It's definitely this. It's something to do with the oak, at the very least. And the smell of it is still fruity, which I like. But I don't know if it's something I prefer. I'm tempted to pour like a little bit of wild turkey now just to see what it is that's slightly different between all of these for me, for one of my favorites. That's why I bought the big old bottle of it. Getting plenty of water tonight. Going to D. Again, this is a simple one. I like it, but as far as compared to the other ones, it feels like a pretty simplistic bourbon. But I know this is the one that dried out my tongue as well. So there's something different about it. Yeah. This one's fine. There's nothing really jumping out at me. And I like it. That one could be the Buffalo Trace. But I don't know what the proof of the Buffalo Trace is. I've forgotten. Because I know it was a store pick, I think. So this is difficult. But it's not supposed to be difficult. These are, again, the main purpose between these is to see what I like about them. And then I'll be able to try something new, hopefully. I mean, all of these are something new to me, so that's a good thing. Let's go to A now, because that seems to be the one I'm leaning towards as a favorite. My tongue is getting annoyed with me. I was like, what are you doing? Why are you drinking so much bourbon so quickly all of a sudden? You're confusing me. I'm thinking it's just going to be which one I like best. But part of me wants to do the guessing game that everyone else does with the proof and trying to guess which one is which. Now that one doesn't feel as aggressive. God damn it. I like it, though. I'm already starting to get like alcohol fatigue or whatever you call it, because I'm bouncing between these things. And I've left a few of these on my mouth and my tongue for longer to try to get more out of it. Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, right now, for not having these, the proof thing is going away now. That's the problem. Because I thought it was A at first, but now I'm not sure because that's not giving me the same burn as it did when I first started. And again, it was the first one I drank. So it could just be that that's the first alcohol I had today and just stung on the way down. Let's go back to just smell. I do like this one, and for some reason it's reminding me of wild turkey. So that may be one with rye, it may not. Going to B for the smell. I smell delicious. This has got a bit of a fruit note too, but not as much as the other one, not as much as C. And there is kind of something, I don't know if I want to call it sour. There's something different about this one, which I can't quite figure out. Pure madness, this. I don't know how the channels do this. This is the one that sticks out the most. This is C, as a different smell. It's got a fruitiness to it, and that's the one that's making me think it's either Eagle Rare or E.H. Taylor. I will lean more towards Eagle Rare because I think that's the one that people have said has a fruit note. I don't remember, and I've never had it before. So it's a guess. It's a wild guess. We'll say that C is Eagle Rare, I think. I have no idea. So this is all guesswork. This one could be the rye, actually. Number D. Number D. I'm just going to start saying that and sticking to it. It is a nice lineup. I have to thank Powerkeeper for sending it to me. It is. My palate is wonky, as I've said. That's like the main thing I have. There's trouble. Welcome. We're doing a blind flight, and we are very confused. That one could be the rye. That's the closest one to licorice, I think, or black licorice. Going back to A. Swirly, swirly, swirl. ADHD whiskey does it. He just does this. This makes me nervous. It's going to fly out at last. This one could be the rye too, though. God damn it. But as you said, there's not a huge amount of rye in it. Going on to B. A lot of this is just me getting stuck in my head. I didn't reset. I didn't reset for anything. It's all starting to smell the same. Ah, I'm glad you didn't. Although I would like to try Stag Junior because I've heard things. I've heard things. That and I think one called, what is it, Brimstone out there somewhere. Woo. Woo. That might have stuck out. This is what I worried. My palate and my nose are pretty wonky to be in the first place. So I'm worried I can get palate fatigue very easily. Well, the good thing is I like all the smells of them. The one that stands out the most for me is C, because of that weird fruit note. It makes me think kind of apples for some reason. A, B, and D. D is probably the softest as far as smell and taste for me. It's just something I could sip and not think about very much because it's good, but it's, you know, nothing like, oh my gosh, this is all these flavors, you know. B and A are the ones that are confusing me the most at the moment. But C, at least I know there's something different about it. Exactly what? I don't know. And since I've never had Eagle Rare, I'm guessing that's that. Do I really know? No, of course not. Whoa. Like a scrub oak. Oof. D is Blanton's. I've never had Blanton's either, so I wouldn't know. Although I don't think that's in the lineup. Let's do a little dual nosing, shall we? Right now I'm going between B and A. A still seems to be my preference. And again, that could be just because it was the first one I drank. Like a weeded mash bill too, huh? Wow. This one seems a little sweeter than A. Yeah, A is sticking out. And this is the one I got a cherry note off of too. Which I like. This is the one that's reminding me of not Buffalo. This is the one that's reminding me of Wild Turkey 101. But I do have that kind of planted in my mind. I haven't had any today, but I did buy a big old bottle of it. I did have plenty of Wild Turkey 101 over the holidays. Did any of you have anything interesting over the holiday? If you had a holiday, for that matter. Oh, I'm not worried about it. I've heard Blanton's is, of course, over. It's overpriced and over. It's a thing. It's a thing. It's a little horsies. That's what people like about it. Again, we're going back and forth between A and B. A still sticks out as the one I prefer. And the one I thought was the higher proof. Is it? No idea. I like all of these. But as far as preferences go, A is in the lead. That's really all I'm trying to figure out. Is what in the general scheme of things, all of us are just trying to figure out what we like drinking the most. As some may know, I like Wild Turkey 101 quite a bit. I almost bought Maker's 101 tonight, but that would have been $40 for 750 milliliters, where it was $40 for that 1.75 of Wild Turkey 101. And again, we're talking lockdown, not experiencing a new whiskey at the moment. Oh yes, the lineup once again. I don't know which is which. The only thing I know is number C. Number C, I'm going to keep saying it. Number C has a distinct fruity note. A feels like a higher proof with a distinct cherry thing going on. And D seems to be the least impressive to me at the moment. It's not doing anything to stand out compared to the other ones. B is nice too, as far as the smell goes. But good. But I think D is the one that's just very quiet. But it tastes different. I remember C and D have a distinctly different taste feeling to me. But can I exactly say what they are? No, of course not. That would be easy. That'd be a good thing. Oh yes, we all know secondary is BS. Like I said, when I saw Blanton's on the shelf yesterday for the first time I've actually seen it in recent memory. I might have seen it somewhere else, but it was $100 for one of those little things. No way. Not worth it. I do like Makers in general for the weeded, but yeah, well, here's my owning. This is my owning regular Makers right now. This is it. I have two of them, but I do like their cast strength, or it was cast strength that I bought last year. It was good. I like it, but I want to try the Makers 101 just because I like Makers enough, and I like higher proofs enough. So why the hell not? I've seen it, JJ. I've seen people, taking pictures of stuff, usually at Costco or something like that, where you can get it for 60-ish. I did see a Weller for 60-something yesterday. Same place. And I also saw a bunch of other stuff, which I know the guy's gouging prices. Because like I said, the rare breed, which I haven't been able to find around, was almost $10 more than what I've seen it listed as. $50 for a rare breed is like, oh, okay, sure. I'd like to pay less, but can't find it, so. All right. Gosh, bourbons are hard to figure out. Bourbons feel like, as has been said on the Whiskey Vault many times, bourbons have a narrower spectrum. Because I know with scotches, it's, it feels like that. Big, lots of differences, and bourbon's kind of like, meh. It's sweet. It's sweet, delicious stuff. Although I don't think I've had enough of the crazy freaking heavily wooded stuff. Yeah, A's still my favorite. Right now we're just nosing back and forth. Try not to think too much about it. I'm suddenly thinking about candy and frosting with B. That was different. See, I'm still not getting as much of that fruit note, but I know that's the one I said had it. I think I said apples. And there is something about D that's distinctly different, I think, on the taste. All right, going back through. We're going through A to D again on the taste. It's oaky. It's kind of oaky. Drying out my tongue and stuff. A little bit of sweetness. Kind of brown sugary. Still reminding me of Wild Turkey 101. So that might be the rye. I do not know. The one thing we know tonight is that I don't know. But there's at least one that I got locked in, although I'm still not sure which one I would be. I feel like A is still the higher proof, even though it's not burning me anymore. Really, this is just a good excuse for me to drink a whole bunch of bourbon. Very quickly, unfortunately. And he's starting to blur together at this point. I like B, but it's not jumping out at me. B and D feel similar. Not exactly sure why. Certainly dried out my tongue, which is a thing. And I think that's usually the oak note that people get. For me, it's just a drying sensation. What? What? Whoa. I was happy to see when I went to the liquor store earlier that Old Tub is on the shelf for $25. But when I went to pick it up the first time, it was in the glass case for $25. So now they at least have more of them. Decent, but I don't know if it's one I want to get again. Because I can get a bottle of Wild Turkey 101 for $25, which I feel is overpriced. I'm getting more of a char out of this one now. Out of C. Nothing severe, though. That's not as drying, which is nice. But there is something about it that's bothering me. There's this thread of something going through it, and I can't specify exactly what. This is why I use the cheat sheet all the time. I don't know enough words. Or I can't just remember a bunch of them. There you go. Yeah, 22 is fine. It's fine. And again, we've heard rumors of Old Tub coming in different types, or different bottles have different problems occasionally. Just rumor. Never happened to me, but I hear it's happened elsewhere. We're on D again. If I had to guess, I'd say D is the lowest proof. It's nice, but it's nothing crazy. I mean, it's a bourbon where I would like drinking it, but it's not one that I want to pick apart because I'm really not getting much out of it. A little bit of drying sensation on the finish, I guess. Thank you, Power Keeper. I'm doing something. I know that. And again, my main thing is to figure out which I like most. And so far, A is the front runner. I don't know. Again, most of these I don't think I've had. I mean, to be abundantly clear, I've never actually had any of them other than having had Buffalo Trace itself once. And Everything else is just stuff I've never actually had, like the E.H. Taylor, never had. And the, what was the other one? Eagle Rare, I've never had, although I've heard it has a fruit note, I think. Again, my memory's bad. Old Mash Bill 1. The drying sensation is what, I guess what I equate to what happens with white wines, like all the moisture gets sucked out of your tongue kind of thing. And Chardonnay or any kind of wine finish, I think, would give me a funk. As far as I've been able to figure, at least with Scotch. If there's anything that was finished in a wine barrel in some way, it's always something that sticks out. It's like, whoa, hi. Could I explain exactly why that is? No, I don't know why that is, but it is enjoyable. Now to try to figure out at least which of these I like best. A is the front runner, just because it's reminding me of Wild Turkey 101 for some reason. I don't know if it's a rye or a higher proof. It might be. There's like a hint of black licorice on A. And originally I thought it was the higher proof because I think it was the first one I tried. Although B smells very similar, but it tastes different to some extent. And if you haven't noticed, I made certain I wouldn't get these two confused. Like if I accidentally put these down the wrong way, I'd still know what's what, because they all have different toppers and they all have different Glencairns. The first one is blank. The B has the Garrison Brothers. Not that you can tell, but that might be. Yeah, Garrison Brothers. Proving I've been to Texas, sort of. And then we have, sorry, that's probably loud. Then we have the Andalusia glass. And then we have, because it is Sunday, and as usual, drink more bourbon for D, which is unfortunate because D is the one where I'm like, it's a bourbon. Where A is the one that has nothing on it. That one's just blank. My blank regular Glencairn. See, nothing. I really like A though. Could I tell you why? Not really. Other than it's reminding me of Wild Turkey 101, which I like a lot. What is bothering me slightly is I've heard good things about E.H. Taylor, and that's one that people hunt down, right? Tell me stories about people hunting down E.H. Taylor. Because I've seen the tube. I know it comes in a tube. And people hunt for it. And it can be overpriced and secondary market stuff, but I'm just going back and forth now. Yeah, he's up there. Oh, that's good. C is something different. I'll give you that. It's actually a little more peppery than I remember. And again, that's because I'm just going back and forth without cleansing the palate, as they say. It's got a chocolate note out of D, which I wasn't getting much of before. My tongue is angry at me now. A lot of my problem with doing tastings in general is it's more a feeling. Like taste is the harder thing for me to get a grip on, but the sensation is really what gets me. Oftentimes I can pick stuff out like rye and black licorice, and I guess what has to be something that stands out the most, I think. But it's certainly not easy to do this. And a lot of it is just guesswork, in my opinion. Because that's all I'm doing is I'm kind of guessing which is which without any idea. Other than, I think, ooh, it's almost that time. Computer's reminding me of things. Nice. The other thing is I have to be prepared for later. In about an hour and 10, it's going to be bourbon night. So I don't want to be too slammered. And I'm thinking of just going up until it, because I don't think Trev is doing a pregame to It's Bourbon Night. And I hate to bump into him, but I haven't seen him do one in a couple weeks now. And that's good because it gives me a little breathing room. So oftentimes it seems like I go over a little bit. At least an hour and a half most of the time, maybe more. Hey, there I am. Woo. That's always weird. Seeing your own stream. Boo. Oh, yeah. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends and stuff. And also donations can be sent below if you want to help support the channel, because it's literally how I buy anything these days. It helped me buy groceries. It's awesome. Awesome shosh. Yeah. Clicking on things and causing problems. Anyway. If I were to rank these, I'm tempted to go A, C, B, D, as far as my preference seems to be. Whatever my preference actually is. But telling you why, I don't know. I don't know. I know I like A, and I feel like it might be because it has rye in it, but I don't know. The not knowing is the worst part. All right. Give my tongue a little time to recuperate. What is anyone else drinking tonight? I always like to hear what other people are having. I know it is bourbon night, but officially you can drink whatever you want, as always. I've certainly found myself leaning towards bourbons, but there's a specific reason for that, and that happens to be that it's cheaper. The plan tonight when I went to the liquor store was to buy a bottle of Wild Turkey for $25 and a bottle of Evan Williams Bottled and Bond for $15. Unfortunately, when I got there, they were out of Wild Turkey, smaller bottle for $25. And they did have the Evan Williams for $15, but I didn't want to buy that on top of spending $40 on a handle of Wild Turkey 101, which is definitely one of my favorite sippers thus far, especially over ice. I just like to have the ice ball in there, big old thing of it, because then you can drink that for 2 to 3 hours easily and not get obliterated. That is the question. I couldn't even tell you which of these is Buffalo Trace. If I were to guess, I guess I'd probably say D, because that's the one that's not too... It's a store pick, though. That's the one thing that's bothering me. So it could either be D or B as a Buffalo Trace one. And that's something I've only had a handful of times, and we're talking the normal Buffalo Trace. The only thing I have a memory of is being in the whiskey vault doing my bourbon tasting. And the default between the two, that was... I forgot. I actually had a lot of whiskey that night. A lot of whiskey. But that was one where they would have Buffalo Trace and that compare it to the other bourbons that he was pouring. So I had Buffalo Trace, and then we had, as the default, bourbon, which wasn't anything crazy. It was just Buffalo Trace, even though I think Buffalo Trace won an award recently for just being Buffalo Trace. Someone help me out there. I think I saw that come across my radar recently. Michter's Rye. Michter's Rye. I'm going to go against B and D now, and then we'll go to A and C. B is nice. Yeah, that's what's throwing me off, is that if I remember Buffalo Trace being it's nice, but it's, your standard bourbon. There's nothing crazy about it. Now we'll go to D. So these little fruit flies in here to drive me crazy. There's more to D now. At least on the smell. Not so much on the taste, though, except for that drying note at the end. And again, it's a sweet bourbon, but the proof feels low, and it's nothing astounding. But it's nice. Like I said, I don't want to downplay anything. Be like, oh no, this is terrible. None of these are terrible. It's Buffalo Trace stuff, so it's all pretty good. But for whatever reason, I'm leaning towards A still, even after all this time. Let's compare A to C. I thought of moss and mushrooms there. That was bizarre. Or maybe I'm just getting that kind of cellar vibe off of A, which I didn't get before. You know, this is one of the things that the longer I'm doing this, the more things are changing. It's not helping. But I still get that tinge of what I think is black licorice. So this might be the rye. This might be a higher proof. I have no idea. As we've said before this evening, I don't know what I'm doing, but thank you for joining me. The tastes are changing too. I can barely tell what that was at all now. No, don't do it. A seems much tamer now, but again, I'm going back and forth, so we also have to keep in mind that I've been drinking 4 whiskeys very quickly in a very limited amount of time. This one still smells fruity, at least. Pleasant. Almost perfumey. Or floral. Maybe that's the word I want to use, since I'm getting this weird fruit note. I like. C is interesting. There's something about C that's just kind of like, huh, what's going on here? This is the one that makes me want to just sit with it for a while and smell it, because I can't figure it out. Yeah, there's a more pronounced chocolate note on this one as well. Or a candy note of some sort. Maybe not chocolate. Or is it thing? Oh, vanillas and such. That's one of the I think I get out of all of these. Is there some kind of vanilla-y thing or sugary thing or candy thing? That's I'm getting from bourbons in general. It's just a matter of trying to pin out which is which. Okay, good. I'm not losing my mind. Definitely losing my mind. Oops. Whew, you can easily click the wrong thing with some of this. Just the dangers of drinking a bunch of liquor. All right, you know what I'm going to do? Since I still have time, I mean, I'm going for another hour probably, because it is bourbon night, and I have lots of bourbon to drink, and I don't think Trev is actually going live, because like I said, he hasn't done so in the past, 2-3 weeks now. I know he went live before ADHD Whiskey on Friday. I didn't see anything tonight. Oh, there you go. Thank you for joining, JJ. Always a pleasure to have you. Make it mark and make it casting. That sounds lovely. Well, checking. I don't know why I allow myself to worry about other people so much. They don't worry about me. Although he has come in here a few times. I appreciate that. Oh, there's trouble. The Richie Z's in the house. Keeping people in line, hopefully. Not that anyone's getting out of line tonight. All right, I'm going to pour a little more of each back into the glass, just a smidge, because we're getting low. And these have been out for a bit. So hopefully this will reinvigorate them if any oxidation has actually happened. I hope not, because that's what these diamond toppers are for. And that also gives me about half the sample left in each of these. Pouring is so exciting, especially when you make some silly song that has no words. It keeps on going until I'm finished pouring. And there's still so much left to do. It doesn't rhyme. Oh well. Thank you for joining us. Come again. Let's see. One more D. The problem is this is at least 4 ounces of whiskey in a very short amount of time, give or take. All right. It does. That's the thing I'm trying to. That's the part I'm going to enjoy the most. Is that once I figure out which I like the most, I'll have a little of it, and then I'll know what to look for later on. Because really, I don't go hunting anything down these days. It doesn't really work with the current climate, as you may imagine. But last year, the hope was that I was going to, help people find whiskey, find it for lower prices, or at least get people to donate, which has happened already. That's right. All right. Going to A. A smells sweeter now. I still like the smell of A and the taste of A, I think. Going for B. I smell wonderful. B almost has a fruit note now. What the hell? This is kind of infuriating as far as the fact that the thing you're trying to drink, which you're trying to pin down, is also the thing that keeps changing over time. They all smell very bourbony right now. And even C isn't giving off that similar smell as before. I'll have to go on taste alone, I guess. My nose is just starting to give up. It's like, no, you're doing too much right now. Stop it. Stop it. Oh, gosh. That would be a good way to get schlammered. A very good way to get schlammered. And I don't want to do that. I'm already feeling the effects of the alcohol for all of these. And it's a long evening. Ooh. Yeah, there's still black licorice note with A. Very slight, though. It's disappearing almost. And I think it's there in the taste. But I could just be projecting at this point. Oh, yeah, he's nice. Well, learn to swallow properly. That didn't sound right. Learn to drink properly. Yeah, they're all starting to blend together now. Yeah, B and D are doing the same thing still. Well, they're not jumping out at me. Just thought of cookies. That was fun. That's happened a few times when I drink bourbons. I end up getting some kind of cookie note. It is a good ratio. I'm always happy to get the likes. In fact, I noticed when I started that there were already a bunch of likes to begin with, and that was wonderful. That was very encouraging. B is a little more prickly. Like it gave me that kind of peppery bit where, how do I explain this? The sensation of when you've had black pepper, it does something to your tongue specifically. That is kind of the sensation I just got off B there. What that means, I don't know. I don't know. Hearing noises from next door. I like. C still smells different. There's this weird fruit tinge, and I want to say apple, but it could just be citrus. And only because I've heard that Eagle Rare, I think, has a fruit note, is why I would guess that C is Eagle Rare. I don't know, as I said before. I expect to be wrong on all of these. Oh, Richie Z, I'm doing something. It does have a bit of a drying effect at the end. Oh. And as I've said in all my videos, I think, I haven't said in all my videos. I've said in many videos that I have sensory problems due to my crippling depression and anxiety. That's a fun topic. I don't go in too deep to that, but it makes this more of a challenge in my mind. This is making me think of soap. That's weird. And that might just be the alcohol or this weird perfumey note I'm getting off of D suddenly. It might be because I poured more in there, but I don't know. Just so we all know. D has a really big drying effect at the end of it. Like that's the one that's noticeably drying my mouth out most. So does that make it a higher proof, or is it just oakier than the rest? Is it just Buffalo Trace? I don't remember. I think it's a toss up between C and B right now as my second favorite. Because C is the one that's noticeably different to me. Like noticeably different. All the rest are kind of, it's a bourbon, except for A, which feels like more of a rye to me, or at least is reminding me of one of my favorites, which is Wild Turkey 101, which is, I think, a higher rye or something like that. Although I almost did buy another bottle of, what was it? High West Double Rye. That is noticeably different. That thing is black licorice for days, if I remember correctly. But I never actually reviewed it because I bought the bottle before I was actually getting into making more content. So I've drank a whole bottle of it, so I know what it tastes like, and it was distinctly different as far as bourbonish stuff goes. That was definitely crazy high in rye. And A is making me feel like it's got some rye in there. But again, this is all guesswork. What's really bad is I'm thinking specifically of Roy's stuff, where he does like the quiz at the end. And I've only recently started doing it because I hate being wrong, I think, or I hate messing up. There's that thing that depression does to you, that if you make a mistake, you remember, or if you get something wrong, you remember. Remembering good stuff, not so good at, but remembering all the things and mistakes you made over your life. Oh yeah, those are right in here, my friend. So at the moment, we're going A, C, B, and then D as far as my personal choices are. So far. But C is doing something, or D is doing something different now, which is drawing me in a little bit, but it might just be because I've had so much of all of them at this point where I'm starting to blur everything together. But I did get some kind of chocolate note on it earlier. Whereas when I first sipped it, I couldn't get much off it at all. So what I'll do now is I'll go backwards. I'll go from D, C, I'll go D, C, B, and then A. God, these things only show up when I'm doing a live show. Only. I want to say there's a bit of a ethanol note or something. The alcohol in this one is showing up on the smell. but not in like a high proof way, in a different kind of way that I don't quite understand. And again, it's a good bourbon, but it's one of those things that it's for me, it just disappears quickly and then leaves this slight drying note at the end. So I sip it, I go, and then immediately gone. Yes, thank you. That is the important part, is I am just experiencing this. That's the whole thing. That's all I'm good at, is experiencing whiskey. As I like to tell people, is I'm doing this, but I have no idea what I'm doing. Even setting this up felt so weird. Having to line up the bottles and line up the glasses, make sure I didn't have toppers. I don't know how people do this who have like normal jobs. As I've mentioned before, I don't work. This is it. That's why there's a thing below for PayPal, because you helped me get my coffee and my groceries and my gas. Yeah, Steve's still specifically different right off the bat. Kind of fruity and floral. And nice. It's one where you just kind of want to smell it for a while. I don't know if the taste is doing anything crazy, though. No, this is the one that goes dry real quick. And of course, it's sweet, but I mean, the drying note is really what's getting me. As I've been trying to say on some of my streams, whiskey is life. Life is meant to be shared. That's what we're doing. We're all sharing the experience that I seem to be having at the moment. And hopefully, all of you are experiencing some whiskey of your own. Otherwise, well, do what you want. Who am I to judge? It's only 7 o'clock where I am right now, 7:12. Some people don't drink until much later in the evening. Now B's got a fruit note of some sort, or a sweetness, or a flowery note now. God damn it. I want to say honeysuckle, but I don't remember the last time I went near any honeysuckle, so that's a guess. Again, I like it, but it's not doing anything crazy. No. Back to A. Yeah, A still has the black licorice note, but that could be my imagination. But this is the one I seem to like the best as far as familiarity. I'll stick with C being the Eagle Rare as just because of what I've heard. I expect to be wrong on that. I think it might be something weird like the Buffalo Trace Barrel Pick or E.H. Taylor, which is another one I've never tried before. So that's a guess as far as what I've heard and what I've been getting out of it. The B, that's trouble. Look at that doggo. Look at that doggo. Andrew Buchanan, a well-known whiskey person. Been on many a stream, has a nickname. What more could you want? I've never had to analyze something so hard in my life. I have trouble figuring out what I want to have for breakfast. So this is definitely nerve-wracking as far as feeling you want to make the right choice. But as I said, my goal for the evening is to be wrong on all accounts for everything. So if I can do that, I have succeeded. You know, sometimes I get a charcoal note off some of these, which I imagine is just, you know, char somehow getting into the barrel. And I thought I got that on D. That was close. Definitely made this glass jiggle a little bit more than I cared to. Sorry about the loud noise, by the way. I don't know how loud that is, but I know the microphone is very close to my desk. It's right about here. It's right about here. D is quick as hell. I'm not getting a lot out of it still. It's nice. But goddamn. It's like bourbon, bye. For whatever reason. So we'll stick with what I said, is that we're going A, C, B, D. I still think C is something different, so it's either Eagle Rare or E.H. Taylor, or something I've never had before. B and D are the ones that are not standing out to me as hard. They're definitely doing something. Like they're changing the longer I do this. But they don't have anything that's really catching on, like A and C. A is specifically is reminding me of Rise and reminding me of 100. Well, not Rye, but I get a slight black and licorice note off of it, and it is reminding me of Wild Turkey 101 for whatever reason. While C is the one that smells distinctly different from all of them to me. It's a little more floral, a little more fruity, while the rest are not. And as I said before, that's the one that I've heard Eagle Rare, or not even E.H. Taylor, I think, but I think Eagle Rare has been said to be a little fruity for some reason. I don't even remember who said that. It's just something I've heard. So there you go. But B and D are the ones that are baffling me the most because of how little I'm getting out of it. I have to. Yeah. I'm taking as much time as I can because I can, thankfully. As I said, we're trying to fill the space of 2 hours with this, and I don't know how people do a flight in an hour, because that feels like I would have to rush through everything and be guessing like crazy, and everything would feel wrong. I might say B is Buffalo Trace, but I have a feeling that's just the fact that it's B, and that would make D either. I think A is the Rye, only because of that feeling I'm getting, and D is probably E.H. Taylor or the Eagle Rare. But for an Eagle Rare, I'd expect a lot more of it. Actually, for an E.H. Taylor, I'd expect a lot more of it because of how highly people seem to chase after it. But that could also be the Buffalo Trace store pick because it's not doing a lot for me. While at least B is getting something, C is the one that's most different. Although D keeps changing. That's the weirdest thing about doing this over an hour, is that there's been a distinct change on D, because when I first tried it, it wasn't much. And throughout this, I've said a number of different things on D, like chocolate and kind of fruity notes or floral notes, something like that. This is why people write stuff down, which is something I should have done, but I didn't, because mostly I don't have anything to write on. I have a pen. Actually, I have a better pen somewhere, which I'm sure would be hilarious to use during this kind of a tasting, because yeah, I think most of you know what that says. I actually got this from the guy who does the distilling at Lafroig, which was awesome. But like Lafroig's, I can tell. At least I can tell the peatiness. I learned very quickly I can't tell the difference between Lafroig Cardaeus and Lafroig, not Lafroig. What was the one? What is it? Hold on. Ron Swanson. That's not Lagavulin. So I couldn't tell the difference between Lagavulin and Lafroig's because blah. Richie Z, I am wondering what about the reveal myself. I have guessed as hard as I'm going to guess with this. And again, I expect to be wrong on all accounts. So at least if I'm right on something, that'll be a bonus. But Again, we'll say it out loud. A, I think, is probably a higher proof, or at least a rye. B, I want to say is the Buffalo Trace barrel pick, but I think that's just because it's called B. C is what is either going to be the Eagle Rare or the E.H. Taylor, because I've never had either of those. And I've only heard that I think Eagle Rare has a floral note. And again, with D, I'm confused because I'm not getting a lot out of it. So it could be a Buffalo Trace pick, or it could be E.H. Taylor, which would be kind of sad because I've heard good things about it. But also B could be E.H. Taylor because at least it's got a little more to it. And my preference at the moment seems to be A, C, B, D as far as what I like first. It's the one that's not doing a lot for me at the end. A, C, B, D, yes. Why that is, I don't know. But let's do this because I've almost gone for an hour and 20 already. We have the flight list, and I haven't looked at this, so we'll see. Oh, it's even taped closed. I didn't realize it was taped closed. I was afraid of actually opening it. So now I can prove to you that I haven't opened it. And I'm afraid I'm going to rip this by accident. Do I have my... No, of course I don't. Why would I? Why would I make this easy on myself and have something sharp nearby? And the winner is... Of course you're not going to do it. You're just going to make my life difficult, aren't you? You know what? On the plus side, it's good to know I don't have anything sharp nearby, but on the negative side, I don't want to destroy this piece of paper by accident. Does this work? Doubt it. Yeah, definitely ripped the paper. Yes. Thank you, Power Keeper. And the winners are... No, I'm kidding. Oh, A is the weird one. Okay, we have the answer. A is not what I thought it was. It is the Eagle Rare. B is Buffalo Trace store pick. C is the rye, which I would have no idea that it is. And D is the E.H. Taylor small batch. So as I said, I got all of them wrong. Yeah. But I did find something out today. I do seem to like Eagle Rare. So there we go. We know what is what. We have A is Eagle Rare. B is Buffalo Trace store pick. Although I would have no idea that it is. C is the rye recipe, which I guess that explains why I'm getting this weird fruit note out of it. And no licorice for some reason. Yeah, so at the very least, C was something different. And that stood out to me. So that's the thing I didn't know. I've never had Eagle Rare. And the E.H. Taylor small batch, oddly enough, was the one I was like, meh, it's nothing crazy, but it's also something that kept changing throughout this whole freaking thing. So it does things, at the very least. Well, that's good to know. Now I'm definitely encouraged to try a bottle of Eagle Rare, knowing that I seem to like it the most. But I am also glad I got everything wrong, because I knew I would. Or at least I expected I would. At the very least, I could tell there was something different about C. So I got that going for me. Which was the higher proof? That's the thing I didn't know. Because again, I thought it was A at first, but as I went along, they all kind of blurred together. Yeah, it's definitely not what I expected. That was the one that was definitely throwing me off. So I'm good. It's a good thing I can tell some differences. Can I tell exactly what they are? Hell no. It's funny that I thought... So what'd I go with? Yeah, I went with... So we got Eagle Rare as my favorite. The Kolsch rye recipe as my second, which isn't surprising because I do like ryes, and that was definitely Definitely different from everything else. Then I went B. Oh, wait. I did get one right. I said B was the Buffalo Trace, but I thought that was just because it was B. Yay. Completely guessing. And then D was E.H. Taylor Small Batch, which is something I think I hinted at, it being that or the Eagle Rare. So did I get 2 right? I don't remember. My memory is really bad. Kolsch is 94. Eagle Rare is 90, huh? Why did that seem like more to me? That's weird. I kind of feel bad for E.H. Taylor Small Batch, but it is doing things. So maybe there's a complexity to it that I'm not quite aware of. But I have to admit, throughout the whole entire tasting, D is the one that changed over time the most, while the rest kind of stayed the same. C especially was the one that was most noticeable. Probably 2 right. I have no idea. I don't mind being wrong. I just don't like it. And again, as I've said before, to myself at least, being wrong is the only way you learn. So there you go. Yeah, it was just kind of meh. Yeah, I could definitely see that. That's the thing I've leaned into myself because of what my preferences seem to be are the higher proofs. But like you said, the EH, this one, the last one, is the highest. God, this one felt like nothing to me. Meh. Yeah, it's fine. It's the one that was I sipped it and it's like good, but it is burning on the way down. But then again, all of them are. But that is still noticeable. So I can see how it is the higher proof. Noisy people in the hallway. Very noisy people in the hallway. Now I'm going to have to write this down so I remember. Otherwise, I'll have to watch this whole thing. We said ACBD. So A, C, B, D. At the very least, I don't need to go hunting down E.H. Taylor Small Batch now. Although it is interesting in the fact that it's so weird and changed over time. Ah, okay. Yeah, I have no idea that that's the higher proof. That'll be on the list. And I was very interested about this kosher rye recipe one, Buffalo Trace kosher rye. That's definitely the one that was most different as far as the other 3. But Eagle Rare, hello Eagle Rare, how you doing? We know things about you now. We're curious. Next time I see a bottle, I might have to buy one. I know they're at. Actually, let's double check. Let us double check the facts, if I can. Where'd it go? Did I close the tab? No, I didn't. Okay, hang on. Type in the word Eagle Rare. All right. It looks like they have the Eagle Rare 10-year bourbon for $35 at the local liquor store I go to. So if anyone wants to donate a bottle, you let me know, because I'm not going to be able to spend $35 on anything for quite a while, considering the lockdown is starting tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be no fun. No one's going anywhere. Yeah. I'm looking forward to trying one of those now. I'll definitely have to get a bottle at some point. And now that I know which is which, I can definitely pour more of it. Yeah, that'll be the maybe that's why it made me think of Wild Turkey Run 101, because that tends to be my go-to. Pour it over ice or pour it in Glencairn. Have it as kind of a daily drinker thing. It's lovely. It doesn't really demand your attention, but it's pleasant. It keeps your attention in that way. So I'll have to put that on my list. I'll put it on the keep it on the shelf maybe, because I've only done that with a few. I've had, and I'm not doing that right now actually. The more I think about it, old fashioned, huh? I have a feeling. Well, no, C would be really weird in an old fashioned actually to me, just because it doesn't remind me of a rye at all. The fact that it is a rye is what surprised me, and at least it made it to my second, which does tell me that I do seem to prefer ryes, even when I have no idea what it is, even when I don't even think it's a rye for that matter. It is a nice looking bottle. It's got an eagle on it. It has moochy powers, technically, if we think about it too much. So maybe if I mooch a bottle, could happen. We've had people donate to this channel already. It's surprising. And there's the donate button below, which is also surprising. Although I haven't looked at my phone, so I have no idea if anything like that has happened. Don't think so. But also, I'm getting a lot of reminders about it's bourbon night tonight. And how are you feeling? Well, I just got a 30-minute warning for it's bourbon night, so I'm looking forward to that. Have they done Eagle Rye? I wonder. They probably have. I'd have to look that up. But what I will do is I got to finish all these now. That's going to be a problem. Well, the big ass bottle, I've seen that. I actually saw an Eagle Rare bottle, I think a big one, at the liquor store I went to yesterday. But I don't know how much it was, which is why I didn't even bother asking. The big bottle. Yeah, I'm curious to see what I think about these later on. It's good to know what they are, of course. And I was mildly influenced by things I've heard about Eagle Rare, but it is one that I seem to like just cuz. So that's lovely. I guess I should say to follow me on all the social medias now that we're at the hour and a half mark, which are, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all those wonderful social media places. Note the sarcasm. And of course, here, you can get in touch with me through the emails. The quickest way is probably through Instagram, though. If you want to send me a message on Instagram, I'm posting pictures fairly often. And also Instagram pops up a lot of stuff to me because I follow a lot of freaking people on Instagram. And as I said, there are options. Like knowing that there's a way to donate to me from a local liquor store online is a glorious thing. It's happened once already, so it could happen again. And there's always the donation button below if anyone cares to do that. But hopefully no one does tonight, because the last time I did it, I was able to get $50, which was lovely. But also I had to drink something horrible, which is not so lovely. And thankfully, I'll never buy that again if I don't have to. That was not pleasant. If you weren't here for that, you could probably find a link, but I will pretend that I'm going to put it up there later. I might forget. That was a long stream though. And that was really bad stuff at the end. All right, I'm going to switch these around to my favorites here. So we went ACBD. So I'm going to switch this and this. And this. My stomach just made a noise at me. And this. There we go. Make a good lamp. Grief. I try to entertain. That's the one thing I've found out I'm seeming to be able to do to some extent. What I can do is I can post the link and you can contact me via email or Instagram stuff and we can work something out. Usually all you have to say is to let me know that you're going to do it. Then you can buy a bottle online and say it's for KIllco/Brian. And as long as it says KIllco or Brian on it, I can go there and they'll know it's me because I mentioned the fact that I have a YouTube channel. Let me find the link for the store. I will go What am I doing here? Click on that. That should be the easiest thing. Hang on. I want to make sure I do the right one. Ah. Hang on. God damn it. It's working to an extent, but it's also doing what I don't want it to. There we go. This should work. So if someone could click on it and let me know, we'll find out. Why didn't it? Double check this for you because I don't want to send a link that doesn't actually work. Try it on a different browser. Okay, that seemed to work for me. Cheers, Tim Evans. We have been having a lovely evening. See if that works for anyone. It'll be Fall River, Massachusetts, 580 William South Cannington Boulevard. If it shows up correctly. Don't know if it will. All right, now let's go down the line of what I like to what I didn't like. All right, not that I didn't like it. It wasn't my favorite. It's Eagle Rare. I have a feeling I'm going to finish that off tonight, just so we're clear. That is not a bottle that's going to stick around. Then we have the Kolsch rye recipe, which is something that didn't taste like rye at all to me, but wigged me out because it smelled different from everything else. Going on to B, which is the Buffalo Trace store pick. Yeah, this was the one that also dried my mouth out a lot. Very oaky, I guess we'll say. But I like it. Clearly, it made third place. And number 4, which is D, E.H. Taylor Small Batch. Which means, thankfully, I don't have to go hunting that stuff down. Although, I have a distinct feeling I would like it if it... Well, this is a higher proof, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. Which is, I'm surprised I didn't like it more. It does not drink like a high proof, to me. I would have no idea. It's nice, but it's also the one that went quickly. Like I took a sip and it's gone. Which is strange. Bizarre. Whiskey is weird. But at the very least, I seem to at least kind of guessed things. So I got 50%. I don't know if that's passing grade, but I'm happy enough with it. No. Turkey and leftovers, indeed. I'm going to have to pour some wild turkey for its bourbon night tonight because of what they're saying there. Damn it. I've been drinking too quickly. I got the hiccups. But I'm also going to have to try to get some food. I'll probably do that once they're just gearing up because I haven't really eaten anything today. You know what I've had to eat today? Try and guess. Anyone, try to guess. I'll just give a hint. It was a breakfast item. If you can guess, you get the privilege of knowing that you guessed correctly, and that's all. I had it with coffee, which I made at home. Although I do have a very bad habit of going to Starbucks because there's a Starbucks right down the road. That opened up about 2 years ago, and I've been regretting the fact that it did ever since because I have that stupid app. So I can buy whatever I want and just go get it. Although that was much easier to do last year than this year, to be clear. Ooh, a kosher rye. Kosher. It's kosher. Oh, that's fancy stuff right there. Not a breakfast burrito. Good guess, though. Although that did be complicated because that's something I'd have to make at home. This was a muffin. I got a muffin today. That's all I've eaten. And I've had 4 whiskeys. But I had a... What kind of muffin was it? Good God, hold on. I think it was some kind of raisin bran thing, but I don't know, actually. It was either raisin bran or it was pumpkin or it was something weird. It had like the cream cheese stuff on it. And it was out of one of those 4-packs that I got from the local grocery store. It was the last one. And it was good, but it was just a muffin. So I am certainly well in the alcohol range right now after only having that. I have plenty of leftovers, thankfully, which I plan to heat up before its bourbon night starts or as they start. I can make my my dinner / lunch for the evening, and it'll be glorious, glorious. Because as many of us are experiencing, we are having a very heavily influenced turkey time at the moment. Trying to think here. Wild Turkey 101. Oh, yeah. I'm going to have some of that. I feel bad about that. Because that means more alcohol. But also, I'm going to have to... I hope you guys can't hear that. It's the dog down the hallway if you can. He tends to not like when his owner leaves. Now, we'll try to finish these off. Because, good God. We got number D. Number D, as I said, number D. I'm just going to stick with that. I don't know why I feel like I need to say number. Because there are no numbers here. But every single time tonight, I felt I've said number before a letter. And it feels silly, but it works. You know what I mean? It's fine. Number D is E.H. Taylor Small Batch. Highest proof, apparently. Delicious, but also nothing super surprising to me. It didn't stand out. It was 4th place. But it is nice. I have to admit, D is the one that changed the most over the course of the evening. So it's got that. If you want something that's constantly changing, at least in my personal opinion, it seemed to be doing that. Well, that's the place to go. And again, I've never had E.H. Taylor. It was a high proof, and it doesn't drink like one. At least not to me. This is why I don't do the guessing game that is, proof and type and where is it from and holy crap, who knows? Yeah. Going on to B, which is the Buffalo Trace store pick, which is the one that seemed to dry my mouth out the most at the end. And now, of course, I know it's Buffalo Trace. I can say to myself, smells like Buffalo Trace. Although I haven't had Buffalo Trace in a very, very, very long time. Last year, basically. Around this time, actually. It was a year ago last month. No, this month. Early this month that I had gone to Texas and had Buffalo Trace in the Whiskey Vault, which was a lovely time. I recommend everyone do it if you haven't. Once things are back to normal-esque, we'll say, when at least we can travel and go places. One of my highlights was to, go to the Whiskey Vault and have a bunch of whiskey in that room. That is an experience unto itself. Yeah, it's nice. I'm waiting for it to do the drying thing. taking its time. There we go. Yep, there we go. Apparently Buffalo Trace has a drying effect on my tongue at the end. Or at least this barrel pick does. Lovely. And what's funny, something I forgot to mention, almost forgot to mention, I was given a sample from someone else who may or may not still be here. But there is, where is it? Where is it? This one still has plastic on it. But we have here, let's see if I can do this without hurting myself. Will it show? Will it try to see my face? Will it just reflect the light that's nearby? Will it reflect on my hand? Anyway, it's not focusing. This is an Eagle Rare single barrel select grape pressed liquor. 90 proof, 45%. So at the very least, I'll be able to compare this to the one I seem to like the most, which I didn't know. So it's good to know I should like Eagle Rare. Looks very similar in color, too. Actually, looks a little lighter. Again, with bourbons to me, they seem to be a light amber, or sometimes they go to a yellowish color that reminds me of Irish whiskey more than American bourbons and stuffs. But we have that. We have a couple of these over here. And there was another donation for the evening, which I haven't sampled yet. But this is the one I haven't touched yet. And I'm looking forward to trying. Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel. Lovely, I hear. I've heard good things. Yes, Power Keeper. The 19... Here, I can show you. It is. Yeah, I can show you. It's almost gone. Let's see if we can get this to focus. Focus. As you can see, single barrel select Cappies. 62.5%. Glorious stuff. I'm going to be sad when it's gone. And it's going to be gone. Well, let's see. There's a lockdown soon. So, or sorry, a pause, as we've been said. But that was amazing. That is what I call creme brulee in a glass. And it is delicious. Delicious. All right, we're going on to C, which was BT kosher rye recipe. Kosher. Is it kosher? I think it is. But this was the one that stuck out the most as smelling different. And it's the one I thought was the Eagle Rare because, again, I had no idea what Eagle Rare tasted like or smelled like, for that matter. But we found out this is the rye, which is second place for me, which is unsurprising, as I have found I seem to prefer rye-ish stuff. Not all the time, but sometimes. I know if there's too much rye, it's almost overwhelming. Like I think the bottle of Thai West double rye. It took me a very long time to finish. And I still feel bad that I never reviewed it, but it was not something you drink quickly. Yeah, I have no idea that's rye. It's good though. Num 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 num. So we finished all those. Now we'll head up to the A, which again, the winner of the evening, or at least the one that seems to be to my preference, which is both good and bad, is Eagle Rare. Because now I know I should probably buy a bottle of that. And thankfully, I can get it at a decent price in my area. All right. We've just hit the hour and 50-minute mark on my end. So what I'm going to do is I will toast us out with the Eagle Rare, which I still have a little bit left of. And all of you, which, well, I'm assuming you're going there anyway. If you're not there already, can attend It's Bourbon Night, because it is Bourbon Night. And I will see you all there. And thank you for joining me. Thank you for helping me with this experience. Thank you especially to Power Keeper for sending this wonderful sample. Whoa. And I appreciate it. Thank you. People can always send me whiskey if you want. Again, you can talk on the emails or the Instagram or whatever it's more comfortable, so people can find out if you want to donate a bottle. If you just want to donate money directly, there's a link down below. That would be fantastic. Leave a note if you want me to buy something specific. Hopefully, I will be buying a bottle of Redbreast 12 cask strength in the future, because a couple weeks ago, some crazy people who will be named as Jason, some of you may know him, decided to donate a fair chunk of change to help me purchase it, along with a number of other people who helped me figure out the PayPal thing, because that was something that the link was wrong. I think it's fixed now, but that's down below if anyone ever wants to donate just straight money to the KIllco channel. I will hopefully be doing a number of videos over the next month, because advent calendar stuff, I just have to figure out exactly what to do, and I'm probably going to have to do it in batches, and it's going to be a lot of work, but I am happy to do it because of all the different kind of whiskeys I get to experience. And we'll see what comes of that. It'll be fun. It'll be lovely. I did enjoy the experience. I did. I'm very happy that I got to try Eagle Rare and found out that I actually liked it, because that was one I've been thinking about, but I didn't want to buy it without knowing for some reason. It's gotten a lot of talk, we'll say. A lot of people talk it up. And with stuff like that, I kind of go, maybe. And as it being $35 and my price range being $25, usually, that's my high end, I see that. It's a wonderful bottle, to say the least. Yes, as I've said a few times, and it's very similar to Roy's saying, so I feel a little bad, but whiskey is life, and life is meant to be shared. So cheers to all of you magnificent people, magnificent bastards, and I will see you on It's Bourbon Nights channel in about 5 minutes or so. I'm going to get some food. That's the safest thing I should do. But until next time, live long and prosper. Don't forget to be awesome. And, of course, launch it. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I hope to see you again next Sunday, where I will try to do the same time, but I'll do something else. I don't know what. I'll drink a bunch of whiskeys. Who knows? Maybe I'll pour a bunch of scotches. I don't know. We'll figure something out. Till then, see you later.